Can you talk a little bit about what it means to have your show at Signature?
Well, that's easy. I love working on the Signature. I really, really do. The atmosphere, the creative atmosphere in that theater from the very beginning all reflects kind of Eric's shit-kicking style of, oh, it's nothing. And the fact that it's really a very serious place. It's relaxed and focused and not artificial. It's just the theater. And the older I get, the more I'm in love with the theater. And I don't know any place that I like to work as much as I do there.
Hey everybody, I'm Matt Gardner, Signature Theater's Associate Artistic Director, and welcome to the second episode of Signature Strong Live. This is a weekly episode that we're going to be producing just to keep us connected to you. It will happen every Tuesday at 8 p.m. for about 30 minutes. So if you don't have a reminder on your phone, set that up now. Each week we'll have a new topic to discuss, favorite composers, past shows at Signature, what we have for plans in the future at Signature. And each week we're going to have a different group of some of our Signature favorites. So you definitely want to mark your calendar. So let's get started. Tonight, we are going to be focusing on the work of Kander and Ebb. And we're going to be taking a trip down memory lane with some of our favorite artists from past Kander and Ebb productions at Signature. Over the years, Signature has produced 8 of their musicals, including The Rink, Scottsboro Boys, Kiss the Spider Woman, The Happy Time, The Visit, 2 productions of Cabaret. We produced the world premiere of Over and Over, and we also produced the world premiere of First You Dream, a concert of Kander and Ebb music. And we produced the world premiere of John Kander and Greg Pierce's musical, Kid Victory. So we like Kander and Ebb, obviously. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to one person. But before I do, actually, we have a little game for you if you're with us at home. Every time I say the word Liza, you take a drink. Yeah? Sound good? So Liza is the drinking word of the evening. And if you have any questions throughout, make sure you type those questions in the comment section, and I will make sure to get around to those questions at the end of the show. So first up, we have a very special guest. He starred in our 2015 production of Cabaret. Ladies and gentlemen, Wesley Taylor. Oop. Wesley, make sure you unmute yourself.
Well, hello.
How you doing, Wesley?
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
I can.
Yay, I'm good. How are you?
Good. How are you spending these days quarantined?
I'm actually in Greensboro, North Carolina right now. My fiance's family lives here, and when Broadway shut down, I sort of convinced Isaac to flee and to come here because I knew that Isaac specifically doesn't thrive in 400 square feet in Harlem. He needs space. He needs to be like a free-ranging puppy and like run around. And this is where he was going to be happiest. I'm in Assassins, which was slated to start previews a few nights ago, actually. And we were in rehearsals for like another 4 or 5 days. So as soon as we shut down, I grabbed a rental. This was like the day before New York shut down officially. And I drove 10 hours down here and joined him in North Carolina. So, it's like I'm grateful for the space. I'm grateful for the backyard. I'm grateful for the hound dog. It's just a really, country bumpkin sweet life here.
That's good.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you are doing well, and I'm glad you're safe. I have a question for you about Cabaret, because that's the Ebb show we did together.
Yeah.
At the time, I remember it was one of your dream roles. It was something you were really excited to do. And to approach a role that's that iconic, what is that like?
Yeah, I mean, it was such a surreal time of my life. It was a handful of months where I got to play this iconic bucket list character in one of essentially my favorite musicals of all time, a masterpiece, Cabaret. And, I have to say, with you as director, you were a very collaborative person to work with. And I felt like we really found it together in rehearsal, and it was just a joy. I mean, I felt like it was an embarrassment of riches. I was so lucky, and it was a really rewarding experience for me, for sure.
What was awesome for me as a director and choreographer is you were so athletic. You were so nimble. You were really willing to do anything. Like, we had you leaping over beds, tumbling, going down canisters. Like, you were game for anything.
Yeah.
For the same amount of stuff.
In hindsight,
my dad.
You know, in rehearsal, I was like so excited to play the MC, and of course I wanted to yes and everything you threw at me, and like I was so game and down, and I was suggesting a lot of it too. I mean, come on, I was like what if I did a flip here, and what if I flew down, you know? So it wasn't like the, you know, MC track that we've come to know. It was like a more physically exerting performance, I guess. And which was so fun and exciting for me. But then, a few months into the run, I really started taking a toll physically. And I was like, wow, maybe I should have like practiced a little bit more restraint in rehearsal, because now I can't move. And it was tough. But
Well, you were incredible. Did you have any other favorite memories from your time at Signature working on that show?
It was such a dream. Trying to think of like a funny anecdote. I used to always, during Willkommen, you know, the opening number, I used to always try to find older men to sit on their laps and play with their hair and stuff, you know. And there was one night where I sat on this guy's lap, and I think he had like fresh hair plugs or something, because I like started playing with his head, and he was like horrified, and he was like, no, and it was a mutually mortifying experience. It was traumatic for both of us. And from that moment on, I made it a point to like before like during places, I would go out and peek through the curtain and seek out bald men, which you could find because it was a subscription house. And I would seek out these bald patrons, and I would be like, okay, that's the guy, so that I can like safely, you know, just to play it safe, so that I had someone to caress their head and I wouldn't get in trouble. That's a memory I have.
I love that. Audience participation is dangerous.
Yes.
I think we actually have a special treat for our audiences that are watching right now. If you saw the show, it'll be a special memory. And if you didn't see it, well, you get a special treat. You get to see a clip of Wes doing the MC and performing a song called If You Could See Her Through My Eyes with Shayla Blass as the gorilla.
Yay.
I know what you're thinking. You're wonder why I chose her. Out of all the ladies in the world, that's just the first impression. What good's a first impression? If you knew her like I do, it would change your point of view. If you could see her through my eyes, you wouldn't wonder at all. If you could see her through my eyes, I guarantee you would fall like I did when they're in public together. I hear society mourn, but if you could see her through my eyes, maybe they'd leave us alone. Oh, how can I speak of voluptuous? I don't know where to begin. She's clever, she's smart, she reads music. She doesn't smoke or drink gin like I do, yet when we're walking together, they sneer if I'm holding her hand. But if they could see her through my eyes, maybe they'd all understand.
That was so awesome, Wesley. Brought back a lot of great memories. So A small plug for those of you who are at home right now. Hopefully all of you are at home. That right now you can stream Wesley's production of SpongeBob SquarePants the musical, and it's on lots of streaming sites. So if you didn't see him in that, definitely check that out. And Wes, stick around. Yeah, you're still.
Am
here.
I still? Okay. Hi. It's like the most relevant thing. I would have never known how topical and relevant SpongeBob would be.
Totally.
Watch it. It is going to resonate more now than ever before.
Totally. I agree. So I'm going to bring you back in a little bit, Wes. So don't go
away. Okay.
Our next guest has a long history with Signature Theater. She performed back in the Garage. She's been in the star of many Signature Theater productions. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Alicia Gamble. Hey, Alicia.
Hi, how are you? Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good. You know, as well as we expected with the given circumstance we all find ourselves in.
Totally. So tonight we're talking about Kander and Ebb, and you know this is you've done some of it, and here at Signature you were in the world premiere of First You Dream, and that had Heidi Blickenstaff, Julia Murney, James Clow, Matt Scott, you know, Norm Lewis, and you.
Norm Lewis.
Yeah, what was
me.
that?
You know, that show was such a wonderful, surprising gift when I was asked to do it. You know, I think at the time, I know, especially talking with my fellow company members, we all assumed it was going to be just kind of like a typical cabaret of like, here's a couple of songs from Kander and Ebb, quick, you know, maybe 90 minutes. And then as we were rehearsing it, we rehearsed it up here in New York at 42nd Street Studios. And as time went by, more and more songs kept getting added, and there was huge medleys, and all of a sudden we're like, oh, this is like a show. This is going to be a 2-act, you know, extravaganza celebration of Kander and Ebb, and it really was. I mean, we had, you know, such a wealth of this wonderful Kander and Ebb music that they've given us, and with David Loud, who kind of arranged it and made these, you know, these group numbers, and the way he arranged some of these songs that we all know and love was just so magical. And to do that with such an incredible cast of people, I felt so blessed to be in their company. And we were working our butts off, and it was a lot of work, and we really bonded as a group. And, you know, to have John Kander there in the room, and you know, he was such, you know, just like almost like our grandfather, just kind of there, and we all just wanted to please him. And you know, just having that experience was such a wonderful gift, and to sing that iconic music and to celebrate the work, and you know, that their contribution to our craft and our art form was really magical and special.
Yeah, it was a cool evening because even though, you know, you didn't get to play the full role, you got to like touch on all these iconic roles and to get a little bit of Liza Minnelli's material and Liza Minnelli, take a drink, Liza, great. But it was awesome. You just sort of got to touch on everything. Do you have any favorite moment from that show?
You know, there was something really magical at the top of the second act. We sang this movie medley that featured myself, Heidi, and Julia, and it was 3 songs that David Loud wove together, and it was just so beautiful and so it was cinematic, and there was something just so poignant about it that I loved doing that trio with those women. But then also getting to do New York, New York, which, you know, I'm not going to lie, like, you know, I didn't realize that was a Kander and Ebb song, just because you always just think, oh, it's Frank Sinatra. That's all you ever hear. Yeah. And, you know, to get to sing that song was pretty incredible. And I'll never forget, for opening night, John Kander gave us all gifts, opening night gifts. And so, you know, he gave us all these framed pieces of handwritten sheet music that he did, and it was like the first 4 measures of one of the songs that we sang in the show, and he hand wrote the first 4 measures of New York, New York. And I was like, this is amazing, and this is just, you know, such a piece of history, and I was like, I can't ever. It's still at home in a box. I'm like, I'm afraid to take it out because it's just so invaluable and such a wonderful gift. But there was just so many moments. I mean, I used to watch Heidi sing Happy, and it would just blow my socks off like every night. It was just so great. There was just such wonderful moments in that show.
Amazing. Well, I would agree that New York, New York, I mean, most of us don't know that that's a Kander and Ebb song, but it's definitely one of my favorites. And we actually have a clip of you singing it. So we're going to play that right now.
All right.
You're so amazing, Alicia.
Aw, thank you.
Good memory. Yeah, that was so great. What's it, that song made famous by Frank Sinatra, first filmed in the movie with Liza Minnelli, New York, New York. So great. Oh, look, there you go. Liza Minnelli, drinks at home. What is, you've done a lot of Sondheim, you've done a lot of Rodgers and Hammerstein. What is different about a Kander and Ebb song?
There's just, they have a way of just touching on reality, humanity. Like there's something that's just very pure about their music that just, it reaches in and it just really pulls on your heartstrings. It's not hard to relate to their words and how they weave a story together. There's just something there's a reality there that is really, really tangible and easy to relate to.
Totally. So, you actually did one other Kander and Ebb show for us. And now you did. And it was a concert. So maybe you don't remember it very well, or maybe you do. But it was a concert at the Rink, and it was at Lover Run. And you played the iconic role made famous by Liza Minnelli. Go, drinks, yes. So do you remember that at all? Do you have any memories of that?
I do. They're vague because it was a long time ago. That was in 2002. That was the second year that when Signature was doing concerts in the park at Lover Run in Arlington. And that was my second. I did the first one at Lover Run, which was my first ever Signature performance doing company. And then we did the Rink. And there was always something. I loved doing the concerts at Lover Run. There was something that was so magical about being, with the creek behind us and singing outside with an orchestra also behind us with the stars and hearing the creek bubbling water. It was just always so magical. And I remember, singing the lovely, iconic Liza Minnelli song, Colored Lights. Cheers. Mm-hmm. And, as she's waxing about her life and thinking about her life and being able to just kind of look up at the stars while you're singing and see all of the imagery that they make so clear in that song and talking about the colored lights and, having those lights there, but then the open air behind you. It was pretty magical. In a great cast. We had Lynn Falouche playing my mom. Shout out, Lynn. Happy birthday. And, and so many friends. Like, I mean, Signature is family. Like, it's, that's the many years that I worked at Signature, that is the term I think about when I think of Signature, is family. And it was, working with so many of my friends and family in that show. And that show is about family. It's about these two, women who are estranged and coming together and them working through this relationship. And they, John and And Fred just did a wonderful job of showing that relationship. I mean, you have the apple doesn't fall very far from the tree.
Yeah, a book by the amazing Terrence McNally.
That's right.
Obviously, just
May he rest in
away,
peace.
but just such a beautiful, beautiful script. And I hope it's something that we get to do again at Signature, because it's really one of my favorite of their shows.
Yeah, and there's a lot of songs that people know about but don't know about, and it's just one of the ones that doesn't get touched a lot. But there's some really wonderful things in that show, and it was really fun to work on and to do it at Le Baron.
Awesome. Well, Alicia, we miss you. We love you.
Aw, love you guys too.
A part of our family. So stick around, because I'm going to come back with some questions that are coming in for you.
Will do.
All right,
Absolutely.
Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have the one and only DC Diva, Dame Felicia Curry. There you are. How's it going, Felicia?
Hi, everybody.
How you
Y'all
doing?
look good.
Oh, good.
I can tell. I can see it from here. Matt, you always look good.
Oh, not me.
But everybody else, you look good too.
How are you holding up?
I'm good. It's a lot of in the house time, which I'm not used to, but I am enjoying it. I'm spending it with the person that I love, so that makes it all good.
I love that. Are you in DC? You're in Richmond? Where are you?
I'm in Richmond. My boyfriend lives in Richmond, Douglas.
I was about to say. I saw your Rick Hammerly's post last night, where he showed all the people that are quarantined currently in your DC home, and I wondered if you all were zooming from various apartments, or if you were in different locations. So
no, different locations. That's our little Brookland family. All the folks that live there in Northeast had a get together, which was really great.
Well, talking about Kander and Ebb, and
yes.
You were in our production of Scottsboro, which is one of Kander and Ebb's last shows, and you were amazing. Now, here's the thing. Felicia Curry, you were amazing. Felicia Curry is an incredible singer. She's an incredible actress. And in Scottsboro Boys, she did not talk at all, and she still stole the show. You know, you have tap dancing boys all around you, and all I want to watch, all the tap dancing boys were amazing. But
they were tap dancing.
They were amazing, and they were killing themselves. But Felicia, it was amazing to watch you just sort of hold the stage every night and help us sort of focus that story. Do you have any stories about what that was like doing Scottsboro?
I'll tell you what, that was, I mean, Alicia said it about the show that she did, but that was a gift I didn't even realize that I needed or wanted. It was a show where, as you said, I didn't say anything until the end of the show. I had one line, and my job really was to watch and support, and I wasn't sure what or how that was going to look. And once we got in the room and we started talking about the piece, and I started watching the boys do it, I realized, first of all, how important that part is to the storytelling. There is something to it, and they were very smart to put it in. And the second thing is, I think I became a better performer, a better actor because of that show. I have never had to be so present and to really listen and to have what was happening really affect my storytelling, which once again was silent. And I can't tell you, as an actor, I'm sure all of you know, my fellow actors, how hard it is to be in a moment and want to say something and not be able to say it.
Yeah.
You understand that as an actor and as a person, and especially in that story, to be a Black woman watching this, to be a Black woman of mothering age, watching these young boys tell this story and to not be able to help them.
Yeah.
Was hard and amazing and so rewarding and so,
Well,
I'm getting teary just talking about it. Sorry.
You were amazing, and Joe did a great job directing it. Jared Grimes choreographed it. That amazing cast. We actually, you all got to meet John Kander after one of the shows. He came to see it, and we actually have a clip that I want to share with our audiences at home of him talking to you all after the show.
This whole piece differently than I have before, and I'm very, very grateful to all of you and him.
Thank you, sir.
So take my thanks.
Thank you.
It's sort of a sad anecdote, but a long, long time ago, I wrote a show called Cabaret, and it gets done a lot, and people say, isn't it amazing? It seems so pertinent. And I find myself saying, isn't that awful? I mean, translated into, not for a particular group, but for people everywhere. And the availability of hate is extraordinary. And I'm getting to be really old, and I still don't understand it. But you guys fought the fight tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving us the weapons.
Such an awesome memory.
Yeah, what a great moment.
Yeah.
What a great moment. And yeah, to have him say these incredible, kind words about a piece that he knows so well. And he said to us that he just saw it in a different way that night. And that just means so much. So much to know that the work that Joe and Jared and all of us put into that piece really resonated with the person who knew it the best.
Yeah, 100%. I hear that you have had other experiences with Kander and Ebb musicals. One in particular. Can you tell us about that?
Oh, I can tell you.
Okay, great.
Little known fact, one of the shows that I did in high school was a Kander and Ebb musical called Woman of the Year. Yes, nobody does it. And my high school in Parsippany, New Jersey did it. And I played Tess Harding my junior year.
Oh my God.
I tried to find pictures. I couldn't find it. If anybody does or has one, let me know.
You need that VHS tape.
Because that's exactly what it's on. Exactly. Don't you date me, Matthew.
Do you have any other dream roles from Kander and Ebb shows?
Well, you know, I would love to do a little, you're going to be surprised because it's not the song I'm going to sing, but I'd love to do a little Velma from the Chicago. If anybody's up for it, I would look cute in a nice little bob, I think, and Mama can still hold it up to her head, so come on. Not for much longer, though, so somebody do it.
Oh my gosh. It'll be, Roxy Hart was played by Liza.
Oh, wait, what?
Renee Zellweger, and then hopefully Felicia Curry. All right. So we have a very special treat for you tonight. All right. Because she didn't get to sing in Scottsboro Boys, we don't have a video clip of her singing. So Felicia has promised us that she is going to sing a little ditty for you live. So you ready, Felicia?
So I know that when I said Chicago, all of y'all were thinking I was going to play Queen Latifah. So I figured I'd give you my best Queen Latifah impersonation this evening. I asked Matt to do a nice little rev up, but I'm going to take it off his plate and just do it myself. Now imagine me, big headpiece, more going on here. Ask any of the chickies in my pen. They'll tell you I'm the biggest mother hen. I love them all and all of them love me. Because the system works, the system called reciprocity. Got a little motto, always sees me through. When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. There's a lot of favors I'm prepared to do. Hey, you do one for mama, she'll do one for you. They say that life is tit for tat, and that's the way I live. So I deserve a lot of tat for what I got to give. Don't you know that this hand washes that one too? When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. Liza, 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 Folks contribute to spice it up for mama. She'll get hot for you. Lots of drinks. When they pass the basket, folks contribute too. You put in for mama, she'll put out for you. The folks atop the ladder are the ones the world adores. So boost me up, my ladder kid, and I'll boost you up yours. Let's all stroke together like the Princeton crew. When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. So what's the one conclusion I can bring this number to? When you're good to mama, mama's good to you.
Yes, amazing, amazing. So good. Thank you for doing that for us, Felicia.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And listen, I will pay to see you play Velma, Roxy, Mama Mort, Billy Flynn, all of them.
Yes. Ooh.
Chicago. All of the days.
Chicago.
All right. Stick around, Felicia, because we're going to come back to you.
Thanks, everybody.
We have one more guest tonight, and that is a woman that I adore. She was my Sally Bowles in Cabaret, and I'm very possessive about her Sally Bowles. She was so amazing. I adore her. Ladies and gentlemen, Barrett Wilbur-Weed.
Oh. I did it. I unmuted.
How are you doing, Barrett?
Oh, I'm good. You know, I'm very lucky. I'm in Massachusetts with my mom and my dog. And I'm currently coming to you from my childhood bedroom that I'm giving a makeover since it seems like I'm going to be here indefinitely. So.
Amazing. Well, hey, so I have a question for you. Okay. Do you have any special memories of playing Sally Bowles at Signature Theater?
You know, it's so funny. When you were doing that little intro and you were like, I'm super possessive of Barrett Sally Bowles, I remember that when we were putting this show together that not many people know this unless they were in the rehearsal room, but Matthew would often, because I am not, an expert at picking up choreography or blocking. Like I have to do it like 100 times in a row to get it in my brain. It's very annoying for everyone who ever works with me. But so oftentimes I'd be like, Matthew, can you just walk through the pattern that you want me to do? Like when I'm like going, Sally is so just kind of chaotic and like doesn't stop talking. And sometimes that can be hard to be like, how many stops am I supposed to make in this room during this monologue? And Matthew would walk around in his little jeans and his little cowboy boots and would do this turn. You did have this turn that you would do where you were like, well, like over your shoulder. And I just kind of slowly started like mimicking all of your mannerisms. And I think like a lot of like the hands and a lot of the like really sharp turns and kind of like little like Tweety Bird affectations are actually just you.
Well, I don't, what I mean in that I'm possessive of it is that I'm just so proud of it. So I always refer to
you're allowed to be possessive.
There you go. So hey,
it works both ways.
Oh, there you go. So, you know, this is a role that was made very famous by the one and only Liza Minnelli.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So what is it like to step into, I know that we talked a lot in the process about you didn't watch it, but you had an affection for Liza's performance from years before. What was it like to step into the iconic role that was made famous by Liza?
I mean, I have always really identified with Liza Minnelli because truly growing up, there were just not a lot of people who I was watching, like, in terms of actresses who really could take up space the way that she does. Like, she's just so beautiful and so alive, and just so, she has no qualms about being the biggest, brightest, most beautiful thing in the room. And I remember watching Cabaret for the first time, the movie, as kind of like, I think I was like in my early teens, and just being like, I want to be that. And nobody can be Liza Minnelli. So it's actually kind of liberating to just like hop into a role like this and be like, well, I'll never be as good as her, so I might as well just like do my own thing.
You were amazing. You were amazing. And we actually, we have a clip of you singing one of the songs. So we're going to play that right now. And this is a clip of Barrett with the amazing ensemble from Cabaret doing Mine Hair.
So amazing. Liza Leslie.
Oh, Barrett, amazing. Do you have any other favorite songs from Cabaret, or actually any favorite songs by Kander and Ebb in general that maybe they're not from Cabaret?
Oh man, I'm trying to even choose. Oh, you know what I love so much? I love Quiet Thing.
Yes.
Flora.
You would make great Flora.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, great. Another Liza Minnelli role to play. Are there any other Kander and Ebb roles?
I mean, truly, I will play any role that Liza Minnelli has ever played. I'd love to play, I'm just going to call her Liza Minnelli since we're all trying to drink. I'm just going to, Liza Minnelli in the Rink, Liza Minnelli in Flora. Liza Minnelli, didn't she take over for someone in Chicago at one point?
Yeah, she was Roxy in Chicago.
Roxy, yes.
Okay,
I can't dance, but, we just have the boys carry me around. That's how it works.
Perfect.
Theater magic.
Amazing. Okay, so I'm going to actually bring Wes back on now, and we're going to do a little trivia game. Hey, Wes, are you there?
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome.
By the way, before you do the trivia game, Barrett, shut up. You can dance. You were like the sexiest. Your legs for days. Come on, Mine Hair, and you are a dancer.
Amazing. So, hey, I have some questions for you all, and there are going to be 3 multiple choice answers. When you have the correct answer, raise your hand, and if you get it wrong, you have to take a drink. Sound good?
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so the first question. In the musical Cabaret, which of these songs was not in the original Broadway production? A, Mine Hair, B, Me Skype, or C, Two Ladies? A, Mine Hair. Yes, Wes.
Me Skype.
Oh, that's wrong, Wes.
Damn. Well, Me Skype is the original title for what? Which song?
Well, Me Skype, we didn't do it in our production. Me Skype was in the original production, and it was in the party scene, and they cut it. But Mine Hair was not in the original production.
Oh, wow. All right.
No. There you have to take a drink, Wes. All right. Question number 2, Liza Minnelli. Liza. Liza did not play which of these iconic Kander and Ebb roles? Roxy Hart, Angel, or Aurora? Roxy Hart, Angel, or, yes, Wesley.
No, call in someone else.
Oh, Barrett.
Aurora.
She did not play Aurora. Wesley, you have to take a drink. Aurora be the Spider-Woman. Liza did not play the Spider-Woman, but she did. She took over for Gwen Verdon and played Roxy, and she played Angel in the Rink. So,
I'm already drunk. I'm just letting you know.
So question number 3.
Wait, that's so true.
Which of these people was the first to record the song "I Don't Care Much"? Which person was the first to record "I Don't Care Much"? Joel Grey, Barbra Streisand, or Alan Cummings? Barrett.
Alan Cummings?
No, that's wrong. Wesley.
Joel Grey.
No, that's wrong too.
What?
What?
No, here's the story. Barbra Streisand was the first to record it because it was written and put into the original Broadway show, but it was cut before it opened. And then a year later, Barbra Streisand recorded the song before anybody else recorded it. So check out Barbra Streisand's. Yeah, I thought that would stump you. So
Wow.
That was good, guys. I guess it's not really a winner. You're both sort of tied. And you both need to work on your musical theater history. Yeah? Okay. So
Agree in this.
there you go. So we have a few questions from our audience. My first one's going to go to Barrett. Barrett, T wants to know what Barrett's dog's name is.
Her name's Lorelai.
Lorelai? Excellent. All right, Wesley, I have a question for you. Wesley, I'm a big fan of yours. Any advice for a non-binary singer who would like to play the role of the MC in Cabaret?
Ooh, well, that's a great role for a non-binary person to play. I mean, I don't know if I have advice that's like specific to gender. I mean, I salute you and I wish you all the luck. And it's a new world, and I think that your opportunities are expanding, but probably not fast enough. And I would just give the same advice I would give to any gender or whatnot, and say, just tell the truth and connect with your partner. And
that's great.
I think truth is universal. So it's not about gender or who you identify as yourself, but it's about connection with your fellow actor.
100%. 100%. All right, we're going to go now to Alicia. All right, Alicia, the question for you is, this is not Kander and Ebb related. It's what was it like to step into the iconic role of the witch in Into the Woods? What was your inspiration?
Well, it's funny because I had actually done the witch prior to doing it at Signature. I did it in college. So I was familiar with that role, but it was interesting coming back to the witch at a different part of my life. I mean, like anything, we change, we evolve, we grow. And it was pretty interesting coming back to the witch again. And at that point, when we did it at Signature, I had just lost my mother. My mother had just passed away. So it was interesting to look at that role from someone having lost her mother and then thinking about motherhood and what that means and loss. And I connected to the witch in a very different way than I did when I was in college and, didn't know life. So I felt her needs, her wants, her desires in a very different way than I did when I was a college student. There is, a lot of her role is yearning, is loss, is, there's a lot of things that were easily accessible post, having lost my mother. So it came back to me at a very interesting time in my life and a poignant time in my life.
Awesome. We have a question for Felicia. How did you prepare for the role of Eponine in Les Mis? And what legacy do you think you left on the role? What legacy do you think?
Oh my! Well, I mean, I feel like Wesley really said the thing that I would say to anybody, anywhere doing what we do, especially now, and that is be a storyteller who is desperate to tell the truth, your truth, and don't let anybody tell you that your truth is not worth telling. I imagine that my Eponine might have been different, looked different, sounded different than Eponines people had seen in the past, and maybe that they'll see in the future. But what I can say is that she was truthful to me and the story that I was trying to tell, which was a story of passion and longing and wanting to belong and wanting to be wanted so desperately, needing it so much. And so I know that truth lived in my Eponine, and I would say in terms of legacy, if you can put your stamp on it, whatever your stamp is, whatever your stamp looks like, something that Barrett talked about also, sort of inhabiting space, taking it up and living it to your full truth, that's the best legacy you can leave on anything. And I hope I did that with Eponine.
Awesome.
You did, girl, you did.
You did.
And you were rotten from the inside out. Don't
say thank you.
Rotten from the inside out.
Yeah. I want to say thank you to this amazing group. Thank you, Wesley. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Felicia. Thank you, Barrett. Thank you, Liza. Yes.
Cheers, Liza.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers to John and Fred.
Yes.
Yes.
Fred.
Thank you for all you've done. Yes.
So a quick reminder for our audience. This is the last week that you can watch our production of Easy Women Smoking Loose Cigarettes. So if you want to go to signaturetheater.org and buy a virtual ticket. And then next week's episode is going to be all about our favorite, Stephen Sondheim. And Eric Shaper will be back to host that with several other signature favorites. And until then, everybody stay safe, stay at home. And if you have to go out, wear a mask. And we're going to leave you with a special message about Kander and Ebb with a video from Signature's board member, Kathy Bernard, who is Fred Ebb's niece.
I wonder what Fred and John would say today about our self-quarantine and our social distancing. You know, Fred loved to work with words, and I think he would come up with something that rhymed or worked. The guy that wrote Ring Them Bells and Come to the Cabaret, Don't Sit Alone in Your Room, or all that jazz. I just wonder how he'd put it today. Self-quarantine. I don't even know what that rhymes with. Social distancing. Those are long words. I don't know how you put them to a song, but I bet he would. And I wish we had that opportunity. But I thank Signature for keeping them alive. And obviously they're still there. Chicago was, before it went dark, the longest running show on Broadway. And we have Cabaret and Kiss of the Spider Woman, Scottsboro Boys. They're all great shows. So thank you, Signature. But do quarantine, do be safe, and listen to Kander and Ebb. Thank you.